My name is Lindsay Whitehurst. I cover law enforcement for Associated Press in Washington, and I've been helping to cover the aftermath of the Capitol riots from January 6, 2021. So with this big trial coming up, we decided to trace the life of Stewart Rhodes, who founded the Oath Keepers. And he served as a paratrooper for the U.S. Army briefly, and later went to Yale Law School, and then came back to the West in Arizona and served in a clerkship under a Supreme Court justice. And there he butted heads with coworkers. They saw him as being radicalized, and he actually left that clerkship early.
And as he became more and more radical, he became more and more supportive of Donald Trump. And that was interesting to me from a historical perspective. I'm a historian. I have my PhD in history. And it was just very interesting to watch the transformation of this libertarian, anti-government radical who, in my opinion, was indistinguishable in a lot of ways from an anarchist. And sure enough, over the years, I did hear Stewart talking more and more about a civil war. And that obviously frightened me. So when I made the jokes about Stewart having, being the next Hitler, I really meant that he was going to lead some kind of charge against the government, just like Hitler did at the beer hall putsch, get arrested, be in jail, and that was going to be it.
So when Stewart Rhodes formally launched the Oath Keepers, he actually did it in Lexington, Massachusetts, where the first shot of the Revolutionary War was fired. And you really see that iconography, that kind of language used throughout his writings. And at certain points he talked about it as, this is just a group of people who really love the Constitution and want to make sure that we stay true to those principles. But then internally, from the experts we spoke to, some of those conversations got darker and saw these threats of tyranny as more imminent, and especially when it came to disarming citizens, taking away guns in the Second Amendment.
Stewart will, in my opinion, go down as a person who created one of the greatest organizations this country's ever seen and then destroyed it single-handedly at the same time. He was looking for volunteers to go armed down to the southern border to assist the Border Patrol without Border Patrol authorization. So at the time I was Arizona State Vice President, and the President and I got together and we decided this was not a good idea, and we declined to get involved in that. And after that happened, we lost contact. That was 4.5 years ago. And we suspended our relationship with National Oath Keepers beginning of last year, pending an investigation of what happened on January the 6th.
So this fall, Stewart Rhodes and 4 other Oath Keepers are slated to go on trial on charges of seditious conspiracy. Now, this is a Civil War era charge, and it's not used very often, in part because it can be difficult to prove. Just talking about it is not enough. Prosecutors have to show there was a concrete plan in place to actually do this. In this case, the Oath Keepers say that prosecutors have twisted their words and that they were only there to provide security to various right-wing political figures like Roger Stone.